Hey guys, welcome to Joylee's tutorial on basic character animations for your characters and sprites in your visual novel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you two very basic animations on animating your characters, fading in and fading out, and basic tween motions you can do with your characters. So let's get started. I already opened up a new ActionScript 3 document, and I also imported my characters into my library. Today we're going to use Sam, one of the main characters from the Otome visual novel Skite. I imported her face, her body, and the movie clip that holds her body and her face. That sounds kind of weird talking about her like that, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and drag her out of the library. Just click and drag her onto the stage here. Oh, she's gonna be really big. Oh yeah, she's a little huge, isn't she? I'm just gonna go ahead and unselect her first, and I'm going to increase the stage size to 800 width and maybe 700 pixels. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Actually, you know what? Maybe it'd be good to show her actual size. So let's do 900 pixels. That's good. So here we have Sam, our huge character actually. What we're gonna do is first make a fade in movie clip of her. So right now this is the Sam movie clip. I'm going to click on her and I'm going to right click and I'm going to convert her to a symbol, and I'm going to call this movie clip Sam fade in, and press OK. All right, so here we have our movie clip. Let's go inside. We are inside a movie clip now, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a tween. I'm gonna make this tween about 30 frames. So select the 30th frame, 30th little mark here on your timeline, right click and press insert frame. So now your little movie strip here is about 30 frames long. And since the frame per second is 24 frames per second, this whole thing is gonna be a second, and this is gonna be the little thing, maybe a little bit like 1/5 of a second. So anyway, let's turn this into a tween. Just click any frame or any frames of this strip here, right click and select create motion tween. So now this is highlighted blue. It is now a tween. Now what can we do with this? Okay, what we're gonna do is fade her in, right? So if we're gonna fade her in, let's make her invisible in the beginning. What I'm gonna do is select Sam. I'm gonna go to properties. And while Sam is selected, I'm gonna go to color effects. Right now the style is none. I want you to, we're going to pop this open. We're going to select alpha. Ooh! So now you can look and she's invisible now. Alpha is set to 0%. If I wanted her to be fully visible, I can just set it to 100, or maybe half invisible, 49% or 50%. But since we're going to fade her in, I'm just going to set her to 0. And at the end of this frame, I want her to appear. So right now she's completely invisible. I'm going to select this frame here. I'm going to click on Sam, her invisible blob square thing here. And I'm going to go to color effects. I'm going to go to properties. I'm going to go to color effects. I'm going to pull the alpha level down to, up to 100%. All right, she's visible again. So let's actually test this tween out. Press play. Hey, she faded in just perfectly. I think that's a right speed, but if I thought actually, I do think that's a little too fast. I'm gonna make it a little longer, so I'm just gonna hover over this. I'm gonna pull it over here. And yep, there you go. It's a little longer, so let me just test it out again. Press play. I think that's a good speed. So here we have Sam fading in, right? Now, the problem with movie clips is that when we export them out using Toolkit for Create.js, it's going to automatically loop them. So if you were a ActionScript programmer before, or just an old Flash animator before, not even a programmer, you probably remember that if you didn't want your animation to loop, you had to add a little line at the end of your animation, right? So what we're gonna do is create a new layer, and on this last frame here, I'm gonna right click, insert blank keyframe, and I'm going to select this frame here and go to the actions. If you don't know where this is, you can go to Windows and an actions bar will pop up. Just go to Windows and actions. And what I'm going to do is tell this movie clip to stop at this frame, and don't loop and don't repeat itself like a huge infinite long circle. The difference between ActionScript and how we're going to export to HTML is, yes, we have to write just one line of JavaScript code. So what we're going to do is just really simple. We're going to write this, a star. We're going to have to press space and write JS. Then we're going to press enter, and we're going to press asterisk or the star again and press the slash. And now this is basically telling us that whatever we write in between these two lines, the first line and this line, number 1 and 3, it's going to be exported into our HTML JavaScript file. So what we're going to do is tell this movie clip to stop, to not repeat itself. So let me just type out the magic word. Just write this, and we're going to do a period or a dot, and then we're going to write stop. And then we're going to write 2 parentheses, one here and one to close it, and then a semicolon. And that is it. That should make the movie clip stop. So let's go ahead and test it out. I'm going to go ahead and save this project first. I'm going to write character. Save. And let's go ahead and publish it. Let's publish it. Okay, so you see that she faded in very nicely and she stopped. Let's see if we remove that little stop signal there, what would have happened. I'm just going to delete this. And let's exit back to stage and let's publish it and see what happens. Like, oh, she's repeating itself. So you see, that's why we have to put that little stop snippet there to make it stop. I'm sure all of you Flash animators who were familiar with Flash before knew how to do this, but didn't know how to probably do it the new JavaScript, right? And let's continue now. Let's go ahead and forgot one thing. I'm just undoing it, so I get there I am. I got my little line back. And now that we're finished with Sam fading in, let's go ahead and make her fade out, shall we? So I'm just going to put her here so we can look at her later. I locked her layer. Actually, I'm going to name this fade in. And I'm going to name this layer fade out. So for fade out, I'm going to do the same thing again. Go to library, and I'm going to drag Sam out onto the stage again. All right, and this time I'm going to click on her again. I'm going to right click, convert to symbol, and I'm going to convert her into a movie clip called Sam fade out, and click OK. All right, so you see our new movie clip in our library. Let's go inside of it. And all right, she's right now it's just one frame, so it's very still. So what I'm going to do is increase this to about 30 frames. Just right click on 30, insert frame. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again with the Sam fading in movie clip. I'm going to right click. I'm going to do create motion tween. All right, so now this is a tween again. Now, instead of making this alpha level in the beginning 0 this time, I'm going to keep her visible at the beginning, but this time at the end of the frame, the last frame of the tween, I'm going to make her invisible. So let's go to properties. Oop, and make sure she's selected. I'm going to go to color effects, go to alpha, and I'm going to drag the alpha channel down to 0%. There you go. Let's test it out. Yay, it worked. Okay, so we should probably do the same thing again. Make the little stop sign and tell it to go stop. I'm too lazy to like actually go back and type it all over again. So I'm just gonna go back to the old movie clip, Sam fade in. I'm just gonna select this, right click, copy frames. I'm gonna go to the new movie clip, go inside, click here, right click, paste frames. So let's go inside to see if it copied over the line. Yep, it did. So now it'll stop, and this is fading out. So let's test it. Let's go ahead and test it. Gonna move her to the side, and let's publish. Ooh, look at that. So this one she faded in, the first one we made, and let's refresh the page. And she fades out very, very nicely. Now, you're probably gonna wonder, now I know how to fade in characters and fade out characters, but what if I wanted them to fade out and slide out? What if I want her to move while she fades out or something? Well, that is really easy. I'm gonna go, let's add some animation for Sam fading out. So let's go inside her. And let's go ahead and drag this over to 35 frames, make it longer. And the same thing with the top one. And let's say I wanted to move her, like maybe when she fades out, she goes here and then, woo, goes that way. Woo, fading out. That's really easy to do. Just select her invisible body right there. And then we're going to drag her over to the side. And see that little line appears? That is your tween path. So now she basically it's telling her to fade out and go this way while she fades out. So let's look at the actual animation. Press play. Woo, look, she's fading out. Now let's go ahead and test it, publish it again, and see what it looks like in the real screen. And press publish. Woo, look at that. She fades out very nicely. Let's refresh it again and look at it. Woo, it's fading out, slide. Now that looked a little bit awkward to you, didn't it? Like, it wasn't really smooth. It was just like she moved like a robot. So what I'm going to do is tweak her animation a bit. I want her to slow down a little bit when she fades out. So it looks like it looks smoother. So what I'm going to do is go to the middle of the tween here. Just select just one frame of the tween. I'm going to right click, insert keyframe, and select all. So now we're going to increase the frames here to make her slow down a little bit. Make sure you also select this so it increases along with this. So what I'm going to do is select just a couple frames here. I'm going to right click and do insert frame. Let's test it. All right, she slowed down a little bit once we passed this point, but over here it was still a little awkward, so I'm just going to repeat the same thing I did again. select one frame of the tween, right click, insert keyframe, all. And I'm going to select a couple frames here again. Make sure you select the frames from both layers. Right click, press insert frame. All right. Let's test it out. All right, that looked pretty good, didn't it? Let's go ahead and go look at the path. Look what it does. Ooh, look at that. So you see how far apart these little dots are? It means she's gonna go the fastest here, and these are a little more closer. She's at medium speed right here, and these are the closest of them all, farthest apart, closest. So she's gonna go the slowest here. I'm actually a little paranoid, so I'm just gonna do it one more time. Insert keyframe, all. I'm going to insert just a little more frames here. Insert frames. And that should do the trick. Let's test it out. Woo, that is really smooth. Much smoother than the first time we exported. So let's test it out and see the difference. Ooh, you see that? That was much smoother than the first fade out we did. So that is our fade out slide. You're probably asking, what if I'm really crazy? I don't even want to do a fade out slide. I just want to make her jump up and down while fading out. Well, you can also do that. You can actually do anything you want actually. Just zoom in to the path, the tween path here. You can twist the shape. You can even adjust the point here. You can adjust this point, and you can even just, while here, you don't even have to be on a point. Just whatever tween, do that, drag her down, and it automatically makes a little tween keyframe right here. So let's see this animation. Okay, that's not too bad. She looks really cute hopping out. Let's publish it. All right. So I hope you guys learned how to fade in characters and fade out characters. In a later tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to put all this together, backgrounds of character animations and your characters into a complete scene. And thanks for watching this video tutorial, and stay tuned for the putting together our scene tutorial video.